Hello everyone and welcome back to my quest to turn every hair on my head gray before I turn 40. While I'm here, I'm gonna attempt to conquer this region only using fire-type Pokémon. I hear there's a gang of environmentalists roaming around. Might as well take care of them too. If you haven't read the title, I'm gonna do a hardcore Nuzlocke in Pokemon Sappfire only using fire-type Pokémon. This region is infamous for having too much water, so there's a major shortage of fire-type Pokémon. In fact, there are only 5 different types of fire-type Pokémon you can catch. And out of those 5, I'm only going to be able to catch 4 of them. You'll see why in a bit. For those of you that don't know what a hardcore Nuzlocke is, you can see a quick rundown of the rules on screen. I'll also have a full list in the description below where you can also see my social media handles and my Patreon. Will the fiery passion of my team get us through the Honnen region, or will the water surrounding us quickly extinguish us? Only one way to find out. Before we begin though, IGN rated this game a 7.8 out of 10 for having too much water. You know who's better than the 7.8? You, the viewer. Yes, you. And if you're new here, please take a second to hit that like and subscribe button if you end up enjoying the video. It really helps, and I got kids who need Christmas presents. And with all that being said, let's begin. I start by saving Professor Birch by swiping on the Pokemon in his bag. I take Torchic, who I end up calling Clucky. Get used to him, folks, because this is the only Pokemon I'll be able to use for the first 3 gym battles. After battling his daughter, I start making my way to Rustboro, where I don't battle any wild Pokemon and only battle trainers I have to. I make it there with little issues and challenge Roxanne. This is gonna be a tough one. She uses Rock-type Pokemon for Ace Beam at level 15. If it was 1 level higher, I would have been able to evolve Torchic into a Combuskin and sweep her team with Double Kick. But I can't, so I'll have to make do with what I got. Plan B is using Focus Energy to raise my crit rate and then pray for burns from Ember. However, this is a lot easier said than done. Not only do Rock-type Pokemon resist my attacks, Rock Throw and Rock Tomb will do well over half. Even with Torchic holding an Oron Berry, I'm still looking at a 2-hit KO. Rock Tomb also has the added benefit of lowering speed, eventually making both Geodude and Nosepass faster than me. I gotta hope that some of her attacks miss, or that she just spams status moves like Harden or Defense Curl. Those moves boost her physical defense, and since Ember is special, this won't affect damage output. Not that Ember does much to begin with. As for TMs, the only one I can get up to this point is Bullet Seed, which Torchic can't learn. I've gotta hope some of my Embers crit, and I burn both her Mons. Burn also cuts physical attack, which will definitely help me out. Thankfully, this is the first gym, so I can rely on the AI making a few mistakes. Whenever Roxanne tries to heal one of her Pokemon, I lower their attack further with Growl. I need to be able to take as many attacks as possible. It takes me 14 attempts to get a right amount of crits, burns, misses, and poor AI choices to finally defeat Roxanne. And honestly, the only reason I won is because Rock Throw from Nosepass missed me at the end there, allowing me to knock it out with Ember and finally grab my first badge. After saving the Sailor's Pico, I was given a letter to give to Steven. After a quick sail across the pond, I arrived in Dewford and challenged Brawly. I had my now Combuskin use Peck on Machop, doing a little under half. Brawly has Machop use Bulk Up, raising his attack and defense. With the stat boost, I use Ember on my next turn. Machop barely hangs on and uses Karate Chop, dealing a little under half to Combuskin. Brawly uses his next turn to heal, giving me a free Ember. I use another Ember on my next turn, which crits and knocks out Machop. Makuhita is out now, and it shrugs off an Ember easy. Combuskin gets hit with Arm Thrust twice, activating its berry. I use Peck on my next turn, bring it down to the low yellow. Makuhita responds by using Bulk Up. I thought Brawly might heal this turn, so I used Focus Energy to raise my crit rate. But instead, he uses Arm Thrust, bring me down to the yellow. Another Peck from Combuskin takes out Makuhita, awarding me the Knuckle Badge. After a pit stop at Slateport to deliver the goods, I head up to Route 110 where I run into May. Her Shroomish just lives in Ember and uses Stun Spore. It missed, luckily for me, as the second Ember takes it out. Marshtomp is out now, and I use Bulk Up to raise my stats as Marshtomp uses Mud Shot, dealing half. He'll be a coin flip whether I live a second one. Instead of using what worked though, Marshtomp uses Bide. A couple turns of Double Kick later, Marshtomp goes down. Now it's just down to Nummel. Combuskin easily takes it out, defeating May. Right after that, we have the battle against Watson. His Magnemite just lives in Ember, but I do get the burn. Watson uses Thunder Wave. It lands, but I gave Combuskin a Cherry Berry to get rid of my paralysis. Watson heals up on his next turn, and I use Bulk Up. The turn after, I use Double Kick to take out Magnemite. Voltorb's out, lands a Spark, but falls to Double Kick. Now it's just Magneton left. Shockwave nearly takes out Combuskin, but thanks to a crit Double Kick, Magneton is one-shotted, and I get my third badge. Now, I can finally get my next partner. I make my way to Route 112 where I eventually run into and catch Camel the Numel. Then I hit a dilemma on the fiery path. There are 2 fire-type Pokemon that can only be caught here, Slugma and Torkoal. And since I can only catch the first Pokemon I encounter, I'm gonna have to make do of what I get. My encounter ends up being a Torkoal, who I name Turtle. It's probably for the best because if I had caught a Slugma, I would have had 2 Pokemon who were quite weak to water. The current one being Numel, who is a fire ground type. Before challenging for my next badge, I come across Team Aqua's leader, Archie. He leaves with Mightyena, and I leave with Torkoal. Torkoal's White Smoke ability prevents stat drops, like the attack drop I would have gotten from Intimidate here. I switch in Combuskin, who after a couple of turns, takes out Mightyena with Double Kick. Golbat's out now. It tries to go for Supersonic, but misses. Wing Attack does about a third to us as the second Ember takes Golbat down to about half. Another Wing Attack brings us down to the red, and Ember does the same with Archie's Pokemon. But Golbat gets burned and falls to chip damage. Last out is Sharpedo. Combuskin isn't going to be able to take another attack, so I switch in Torkoal, who gets hit with Crunch on the switch. Thankfully, on Archie's next turn, he uses Focus Energy, and Sharpedo gets paralyzed from Body Slam. We're now faster, and take out Sharpedo with a second Body Slam. Rough skin be damned. With Team Aqua out of the picture for now, I meet up and challenge Flannery. The battle starts off in our favor as Numel's able to one-shot board for Slugmas, but then we run into the wall that is Torkoal. A Magnitude 8 only deals about half to it, which is surprising to me as Torkoal is weak to ground-type moves. I bring in my own Torkoal, and eventually, we paralyze each other thanks to spammy Body Slam over and over. Once I get Flannery's Torkoal down to the red, I switch in Combuskin, because I knew she would heal. I use Bulk Up a couple of times, but sadly, Combuskin 2 gets paralyzed from Body Slam while I was setting up. But with my buff up stats, Double Kick does about half to Torkoal. And just my luck, Torkoal loses a turn to paralysis. I go for another Double Kick, and it lives on 1 health. I get hit with Attract, meaning I have to get past Infatuation and Paralysis to hit Torkoal. In Combuskin's defense, that is a hot piece of shell. But not hot enough, as after Flannery heals up again, Combuskin manages to land another Double Kick, and on my next turn, Combuskin again manages to press through his feelings, landing another Double Kick, taking out Torkoal, and winning our 4th badge. Right after that, I backtrack to Pellowburg and challenge Daddy Norman. The big shock I had here is that Slaking is faster than Combuskin and hits us with Facade that deals around half. On its truant turn, I use Bulk Up. Thanks to that, we're able to live a second Facade and take it out with a crit Double Kick. Since Slaking was faster than Combuskin, I figured Vigoroth would be too. So I switch out Combuskin to my bulkiest Pokemon, Torkoal. Slash doesn't do much to it, and neither does Facade. Flamethrower on the other hand deals about half to Vigoroth, and after taking one more slash, Torkoal takes out Vigoroth with a second Flamethrower. That just leaves Norman's final Slaking. For some reason, it kept trying to use Focus Punch and nothing else. Since Focus Punch only works if you don't get hit on the turn you're charging, I kept spamming Flamethrower, breaking his focus, causing a lot of wasted turns on Norman's end. This takes a while because I got Slaking down to the red a couple of times, where Norman would heal up and reset the process. But there really isn't much to talk about here. After countless Flamethrowers, I eventually take out Slaking thanks to AI stupidity, and get my 5th badge. After being at Sir Rocket Grunts at the Weather Institute, and making quick work of May, I make it to Fortree City, and challenge Winona. Not gonna lie, I was kinda nervous about this one. She leaves with Swellow, which is swell. And I, Torkoal. Aerial Ace from Swellow thankfully isn't doing much, and Body Slam looks to be a 3-hit KO. A second Body Slam does take Swellow down to the red, Knowing Winona would heal, I used Curse to raise my attack and defense in exchange for some speed, which Torkoal doesn't have much to begin with anyway. This time, Body Slam is about 2/3 to Swallow as it answers back with Endeavor. Bring me down to the yellow, activating my Citrus Berry. Honestly, I was hoping to not use my berry this early, but another Body Slam does take out Swallow. Pelipper is out now and uses Water Gun, bringing Torkoal down to the low yellow. Luck is on my side, however, as Body Slam paralyzes Pelipper. A second Body Slam finishes it off. Now Altaria is out. I knew it would be faster, and I know it knows Earthquake. Not wanting any of my Pokemon to potentially take that move, I key Torkoal in, who was killed by Dragon Breath. I bring my recently evolved Camerupt, as it just learned Rock Slide. Altaria starts dancing, raising its attack and speed as I use Rock Slide, bring it down to half. It uses Earthquake, and we just hang on with 15 HP. A second Rock Slide finishes off Altaria. Now it's just down to Skarmory. Camerupt eats the Citrus Berry it was holding, bringing it up to 45 HP. Camerupt takes an Aerial Ace with 18 HP left and attacks Skarmory with Ember, dealing over half and getting the burn. Not wanting to take any chances though, I switch in Combusken as Winona heals Skarmory with Hyper Potion. Combusken uses Ember, it crits, and there goes the battle. I now have 6 badges, but I also have my first death. On the plus side, I was able to find my last partner at Mount Firey, a Vulpix who I named Yokai. The downside? This is the last Pokemon I'll be able to catch for the rest of the game, and I'm going to the last 2 gym battles with a type disadvantage. After some more shenanigans from Team Aqua, which includes stealing a submarine, I surf over to Moss Deep and challenge the twins Tate and Liza for my 7th badge. They're Psychic-type gym leaders, however both their Pokemon are also part Rock. Luckily for me, none of them know any Rock-type attacks. Still, I'm going to have to do everything I can to prevent them from attacking me. I leave with Ninetales and Camerupt. I have Ninetales confused and burn Solrock and Lunatone, while I have Camerupt spam Rock Slide, hoping for flinches. But I forgot to take Camerupt's lack of speed into account. Both Solrock and Lunatone are faster than it. I was getting really lucky with confusion hacks and burn slowly chipping away at their health. Eventually, Solrock uses Sunny Day, and I go on the offensive. Fire-type attacks get a 50% boost in the sun. Even with Light Screen up and resistance, it should still deal decent damage. During this time, Camerupt was put to sleep via Hypnosis. She also almost gets taken out from Psychic from Lunatone, but she wakes up just in the nick of time and takes out Lunatone with Overheat. With its low health and attack drop, I switch in Blaziken. It's part fighting, so I don't think I'll be able to take a Psychic, but it was my only option. Turns out, I had nothing to fear. Ninetales hits a Flamethrower that crits, finishing off Solrock and winning me my 7th badge. After dealing with more shenanigans from Team Aqua, I come face to face with Archie. I defeat him handily as Kyogre goes wild. Now I have to clean up Team Aqua's mess. I have Ninetales bring out Mr. Golden Sun, and between her and Blaziken, despite the latter almost dying, we defeat Kyogre and challenge Wallace. I leave with Ninetales and he Luvdisc. I gave Ninetales a Prison Berry as I knew Luvdisc knew Lovely Kiss. Good thing too, because it goes for it right away as I set up the sun. I shake off confusion this time, but a second kiss has me confused again. Ninetales manages to get past it and takes out Luvdisc with Flamethrower. Celio is out next, and I am getting hammered with Water Pulse as well as confusion. I got lucky with Luvdisc. Here, no such luck. I didn't want to switch out either. As I'm sure most of you know by now, Fire-type Pokemon are weak to Water types, and I didn't want to risk any of my Pokemon being crit one-shotted. It's the downside of Mono-type Nuzlocke. After setting up the sun one more time, Ninetales is killed by a Body Slam. I send out Blaziken to avenge his fallen teammate. I gave Blaziken a Prison Berry as well, just in case Water Pulse confuses it as well. I get Blaziken to use Bulk Up. As long as Water Pulse doesn't crit or confuse me, I should be fine, as long as the sun is up. With Sunny Day, Water-type attacks are halved. 3 turns later, the sun fades, and it's time to go on the offensive. Double Kick one-shot Celio. Wish Cash is out now. I use Earthquake, and it lives on 1 health despite me being +3 in attack. It retaliates with Water Pulse, and Blaziken hangs on with just 3 HP. Knowing Wallace will heal this turn, I take this opportunity to set up another Bulk Up, pushing my power even further beyond. With a +4 in attack and defense, I am able to one-shot Wish Cash. 2 Pokemon left, and I have 3 health remaining. Seeking comes out, and Seeking goes down with 1 shot. Last one out is Milotic. I use Earthquake, cross every bone in my body, and one-shot it. I barely attain my 8th badge, but now I'm heading to the Elite Four with only 2 Pokemon left in my party. After grinding up on Victory Road and showing Wally he's not ready for the Elite, I head towards the Pokemon League. Let's go! Leading for the Elite Four is Sydney. All his Pokemon are Dark types, so I lead with my part Fighting type Blaziken. I use Bulk Up to regain the attack drop I got from Mightyana's Intimidate, and then get to work. Brick Break one-shots Mightyana, Flamethrower takes care of Shiftry, despite being faked outed. Brick Break one-shots Absol and Sharpedo, Blaziken does get some chip damage from Rough Skin, and Flamethrower incinerates Cacturn. Second up is Phoebe. Starting off on her side is Dusclops, and I leave with Camerupt. I use Earthquake, dealing about 3/4 damage to it. Dusclops uses Curse, taking itself out, but now I'm going to lose 1/4 of my health every turn. Phoebe then sends out her second, stronger Dusclops. It takes an overheat with 1/4 of its health remaining, and uses Confuse Ray on us. Unfortunately, this Dusclops has a Citrus Berry, regaining some of its health. With Camerupt being confused and cursed, I switch in Blaziken. I did not want to take any risks. Blaziken gets hit with Earthquake on the switch, but it takes it pretty well. I use Bulk Up as Dusclops uses a second Earthquake, dealing a little over half to us. Blaziken answers back with an Earthquake of its own, taking out Dusclops. Blaziken easily sweeps the remaining members of Phoebe's party of Earthquake, and just like that, we're halfway through. Glacia is our next opponent. Glalie falls to a single Flamethrower. Both Celia's fall to a single Brick Break. Walrein manages to survive a Brick Break and hits back with Surf. Blaziken is down to the yellow and takes out Walrein with 1 more Brick Break. And her second Glalie goes down to another Flamethrower. Last up is Drake. Shelgon goes after Blaziken with a pair of Dragon Claws as we bulk up. Shelgon tries to protect itself, but that's only going to buy so much time. Flygon comes out, and I get Blaziken to bulk up 1 more time as it brings in a Sandstorm. But a Sandstorm isn't going to save him from Brick Break, as Flygon falls in 1 attack. Salamence is out now and cuts her attack. I had Blaziken forget Earthquake for strength just for this battle. Time to put it into action. Strength crits, one-shotting Salamence. Wow, that was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Blaziken takes out Drake's second Flygon with another Brick Break, and I send out Camerupt to finish off his Altaria with Rock Slide. We have defeated the Elite. Only 1 battle left. The champion, Steven. He leaves a Skarmory, and I Blaziken yet again. Skarmory puts down a layer of Spikes, but Spikes is going to save it from Flamethrower, which manages to take it out in 1 shot. Aggron's out next and is knocked out with Brick Break. His ace Metagross is out a lot earlier than I thought it'd be, but it too is taken out by Flamethrower. Armaldo's out now, and it's able to do something that its teammates couldn't do: survive a Flamethrower. It hits us with Aerial Ace, dealing about 70 points of damage. 1 more Flamethrower burns Armaldo to a crisp. Claydol is out now, and it too lives a Flamethrower. It uses Reflect to protect itself, which surprised me because I know it knew Earthquake. 1 more attack takes out Claydol. Just 1 Pokemon left, Cradily. For the 3rd time in a row, it lives a Flamethrower. Cradily uses Sludge Bomb, which we take rather well, but we get poisoned. But with 1 more Karate Chop to the head, Cradily falls. And that's it. I have been a Pokemon Sappfire Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using Fire-type Pokemon. Closing thoughts? Blaziken's back must be killing him right now, because he carried this team for the Elite Four. With only 5 Pokemon available to me, and only be able to use 4 of them, this was definitely a rough challenge. Roxanne was definitely the most annoying battle, just simply due to the lack of moves I had available to me during the early game. But the scariest gym battle to me was definitely Winona. I knew if things had played out differently in that battle, I'd probably have had to rematch her a few times. Even the Stevens battle kinda surprised me. I wasn't expecting Blaziken to be able to sweep his entire team. If Claydol had used Earthquake, I'm pretty sure Blaziken would have fallen. But at the same time, I knew Camerupt would probably be able to take out the remaining members of his team, but hey, we'll never know. It's time to put the Game Boy down. My name is Jeffrey Uri, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!